Welcome, everybody. Greetings here from Tampa, Florida. Ghislain Lefebvre here, online business entrepreneur, success coach. 11 ways to prevent procrastination. I will do it tomorrow. I'll start next week, next month, next year. When I have more time, I will do it. Or when my children are older, I will have more money next month so I can make this happen. Does any of these words sounds familiar to you? Do you find yourself using these words from time to time? Or worse, are you using them right now? You know, a lot of people they use these words because they feel it's reality for them right now. It's their perception. They feel so stuck. They're just not organized enough and they find themselves just pushing things aside and away because it's their reality. The reality is we work hard, for a boss because we know we don't have a choice. Because face it, if we don't, we will lose our job. But when we get home, who's there to hold us accountable? And no one is there, so we get lazy. Most people are procrastinator or lazy. You know, just look at the amount of successful people right now versus the number of people that are not. There are some physical and mental reasons that makes us procrastinators. So there's 11 ways I'm going to show you today that I know that if you follow them, if you use what I'm teach you today, will help you prevent your procrastination and make you a very productive person or entrepreneur if you're a business person like I am. So let's get started. The first two are physical. If you're not a healthy person, if you're not in decent shape physically, there's a good chance that you don't have the energy to accomplish the task you're trying to accomplish. Lack of exercise is a huge one. I strongly believe that it starts right here. If you're not healthy, you will have less energy to accomplish your task and more likely to procrastinate than others. So start exercising, and I don't mean for you to go start training to run a marathon. I'm talking about a 15 to 20-minute walk 3-4 times a week. Maybe it's a bicycle ride with your kids, whatever it might be. Something you can do 3-4 times a week for 15 to 20 minutes will make a huge difference in how you feel. It will boost your energy big time. The next thing is what you eat. What is it that you eat every day? Do you eat a lot of junk food, potato chips, chocolate? Do you always have to have dessert after dinner? Do you always make yourself a big plate and you feel like you have to eat everything on that plate? There's certain changes you can make here. You can use those desserts as rewards for some of the things we're going to talk later in this video. You can reduce the amount of chips you eat maybe just once a week instead of every day or every other day. Maybe the plates that you make yourself are smaller. So when you finish them, you still have the same sensation that you finished your plate. Maybe you cut it by 25%. I'll tell you, I promise you, you'll still be full. The next 9 reasons that we have here are all mental. They are your mindset on how you view things from your world. Okay? This is the level of urgency that you give yourself for your to-do list. So let's get started. There's 9 reasons and 9 solutions. The first one is you have some unpleasant tasks to do and you just don't do them because they're unpleasant. This is actually perceived as not fun or not not enjoyable. So the one thing I can tell you about unpleasant tasks is usually they are nowhere near as bad as you think. So the first thing you want to do is to schedule those particular tasks first thing in the morning. Get them done, get your cup of coffee, and go get them done right away. The one thing I would do toward an unpleasant task is I would give yourself a small rewards for doing that. Maybe instead of a cup of coffee before, maybe you treat yourself to maybe a Starbucks coffee on your way to work or something like that for getting those tasks completed. So Reward yourself with small rewards when you get those unpleasant tasks out of the way. The next one is indecision. Not being, a lot of people just don't take that next step to whatever they're trying to achieve because they can't make up their mind on what to do. The worst thing you can do is to not make a decision. You may make the wrong decision, but I promise you that you'll become a lot smarter because you made that decision, whether it was the right one or the wrong one. So don't be afraid to make a decision. Give yourself a deadline to make a decision. Maybe you're debating on something and it's Monday. Give yourself, let's say, by Friday I'm going to make that decision and that's it. And I'm going to roll with it and give it my best. The next one is probably the biggest one is fear of failure. Sorry about that. Fear of failure, especially for those whose goals are to invest in themselves, maybe like a business, maybe it's an own business, maybe it's an online business. Their lack of confidence, and they are afraid to face the consequences of failure, and that's what makes them not get started. You feel this way because you're focusing on what will happen if you fail. Well, you need to reverse that and look at it the other way. Look at it as what will happen when you succeed. And notice that I didn't use the word if, and I used the word when you succeed. Focus on how that will feel when you succeed. Focus on where you're going to be when you succeed. Focus on who you're going to share this success with you. Every time a negative thought comes to mind, back up and start thinking of where you're going to be, how will it feel when you succeed. Refocus, and you'll see it's going to be a lot easier. Now, one thing's going to happen is you're not going to succeed the very first time. You may, quote unquote, fail at the beginning, but it's not the goal that's failing. It's the plan. Revise the plan. Refine your plan. Make it where it's more accessible for you to access your goal. Lack of interest is number 4 on our list. And when you absolutely have no interest in a task, you won't accomplish it. Let's face it. Reward yourself again. This is another place where you want to reward yourself after you did it. Maybe it's a task like painting the house. You've been putting it off for years. Schedule it, get it done. But reward yourself with something nice. If it's, maybe it's something to go to you want to go to have a nice dinner. Maybe you've been looking at these golf clubs for a long time. Maybe that's your reward. Figure out something to reward yourself. Get it done, then reward yourself. Number 5 is perfectionism. And this happens a lot in my line of work. People, they start building a website and they're so focused on getting it so perfect that they never put it out there. They never get it online. Don't be a perfectionism. Give yourself deadlines. It's better to have something out there that's 80% than have nothing out there. Number 6, hostility, towards your boss. And obviously that applies if you're still in the workforce. And the reality is if I would have a nickel for every time I felt that way when I was in the corporate world, I would have never had to start a business because I'd be very rich today. But the fact is who really likes their boss today? The mindset, you want to use is to find another reason in this case to get that task accomplished. Maybe it's something that would help your career if you got it done really well. So maybe use that as your motivator instead of the fact that you were assigned that by your boss. Maybe it's something that your coworkers would benefit if you got it done. Maybe it's if you have employees under you as well. Maybe they're the one that'll benefit by you doing that. Figure out a different motivator in the case here. Get your boss out of the equation and get it done quickly. Distraction or lack of focus is the number 7 on our list. For some people, it's very hard to be and stay focused. So create a to-do list for yourself. I would recommend using an A, B, C system to prioritize your task and start with A and do what's more important and go down the list. Commit to yourself to not stop until your project is completely finished. Unimportant task is number 8. And the thing is with an unimportant task is they become important very soon and a lot harder to handle later. So figure out the cost or maybe the time it will take you to do it now versus if you wait until it becomes an important task. Schedule a time to do it and do it now. Don't deviate. Number 9, your environment. We all have life. We all have things that needs to be done, but maybe sometimes work, maybe kids, maybe your time. It just takes everything out of you and you don't have time to get it done. It's critical that you schedule time for your to-do lists. And when you are in that scheduled time, even more important, that nothing can distract you. So you can be as productive as you can. So leave the emails for later. Don't answer the phone. If it's an important message, people will leave your message. So don't pick up the phone if it rings. Stay away from social medias at all. And if you have kids, make an arrangement with your other half to have them take care of the kids while you do your to-do list so you're not distracted, so you can complete everything on your list in a timely manner. Procrastination is the biggest challenge you will have to face. I'm sorry. It's definitely going to be your worst enemy. Use these 11 ways to prevent procrastination. And once you've beaten your own laziness, your procrastination, nothing will stop you. Yeah, of course, you'll stumble every now and then on your way to your success. But when that happens, you know what? Just get up. Wipe yourself off. Get back on that horse and get back and get it done. My name is Ghislain Lefebvre. I am an online business entrepreneur, and I started with absolutely no experience on the internet, no experience in marketing. But I'll tell you what, because I was dedicated, because I worked hard, and because I had a really strong desire to succeed, today I work full time from home. So if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck like I was, or of living in the rat race, or you just want to quit your job and finally earn what you are worth, then visit my website at fireyourbossthisyear.com. If you would like more training videos, you can subscribe as well to my YouTube channel for free at youtube.com/workwithghislain. Thanks. You have yourself an outstanding day. Go make it happen. Schedule what you got to do today. Go get it done. I'll see you in the next video.